Welcome back to another episode of Motogp Mac, and today we're going to talk about Gigi giving his insight into what he thinks about the concessions. Now, Gigi said, "I agree with the concessions and the support system because I also believe that it is important for the show and for the World Championship. Also, especially for the manufacturers who are struggling, and in this case, with the Japanese at the moment. I am convinced that it is right to give them the opportunity to improve. I am happy to give them the chance to catch up quickly because I believe it's better for everyone and it is better for the World Championship in a full result. At the same time, I do want to make it clear that I honestly don't see it the same way that we also give KTM and Aprilia concessions. For example, manufacturers that either won this year or have consistently fought for the win, it seems pretty strange to me. So I absolutely disagree with making concessions to them. However, the compromise proposal, which was worked out after much back and forward, was accepted by all factories in the MSMA, Manufacturers Association. Yes, it was unanimous. Because we are a part of the show and we believe it is more important to help the Japanese than to block the concessions for KTM and Aprilia. From a Ducati point of view, he would have liked to prevent the concessions for the European competition. However, in the end, we had to find a compromise. And ultimately, we are here for the show. And if the show is really good, it is better for everyone. He was then asked about what worries him most about the new concessions, and he said, "What really worries me most is because we will have fewer tires to develop. This is what really worries me most because they will have more tires to develop their motorcycle, and I can think this can certainly put us at a major disadvantage. Not at the start of the season, but in the middle and towards the end of the season." And I think he makes a really good point here, is like, what we're going to see at the start of next season is not really any change in the impact of what's going to happen with Honda and even KTM and Aprilia, because if you do look at it, right, they're not going to close the gap between now and Sepang too much. They're going to close it, do you know what I mean, in the way that they're going to be bringing new radical ideas. But, you know, definitely having more time on track, more time to develop the bike, is always going to give you an advantage. You know, the gap with the Japanese bikes is a major gap. The gap with the KTM and the Aprilia, it's not such a major gap to the Ducati, and I can see why Delinia would be pushing back hard against them having those concessions. But all in all, I think the middle of next season is going to be very, very interesting. Will KTM and Aprilia start to rise and, how would I suppose, say, close that gap so that they are contenders for the second half of the season? So it's definitely going to be an interesting couple of months watching the development go there. But I would definitely love to know your thoughts. What do you think of Gigi's insights and Gigi's reasoning for agreeing to the concessions? Definitely leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another video.